That night, the village felt unusually quiet. No dogs barked. No lamps flickered in the wind. Even the trees seemed to hold their breath. Dadi noticed it first. She had lived in that village for more than 70 years. She knew every sound, every shadow, every silence. And this silence, it was different, heavy, watching. Children were still playing outside, chasing each other near the old well. Mothers were busy inside their homes, preparing food, laughing, unaware. But Dadi stood at her wooden door, gripping her oil lamp, her eyes fixed on the road that led into the forest. She whispered to herself, "Tonight, something is coming." Just then, a small boy ran past her house. His name was Eamon. He was the youngest in the village, barely 6 years old. He laughed loudly as he ran, not knowing that his laughter made Dadi's heart tighten. She called out, "Eamon, come here, beta." The boy stopped, inside. "Now," Dadi said, her voice calm but firm. Eamon hesitated. "But Dadi, everyone is outside." Dadi looked toward the dark road again. The wind suddenly grew colder. "Listen to me," she said softly. "Go inside, and do not tell anyone where you are." Before Eamon could ask another question, Dadi pulled him inside her house and locked the door. Outside, the village lights flickered. People began to notice the strange silence. One by one, doors opened. Faces appeared in the dim light. Someone shouted, "Where are the children?" Mothers called their sons and daughters inside. Fathers stood with sticks in their hands, confused but alert. And then they saw Dadi's door, locked. A man walked up and knocked. "Dadi, why is your door closed? Where is Eamon?" No answer. He knocked harder, opened the door. "You've locked a child inside." Still Dadi said nothing. Inside the house, Eamon sat quietly, his eyes wide. Dadi placed her oil lamp near the window and whispered, "Whatever you hear tonight, do not make a sound." Outside, the air grew colder still. A low sound echoed from the forest. Not a growl, not a cry, something deeper, older. The villagers froze. Shadows moved between the trees. Someone screamed. People rushed to gather all the children, pulling them into houses, bolting doors, blowing out lamps. Panic spread like fire. "Dadi," someone shouted again. "Open the door. This is no time for stubbornness." Dadi finally spoke, her voice steady, carrying through the night. "No one opens their door tonight. No matter what you hear." "What are you talking about?" a man cried. "You've trapped a child inside." Dadi closed her eyes. She remembered a story her own grandmother once told her. A story about nights when the village was tested, when fear walked freely, searching for the weakest soul. Outside, the shadows grew closer. Strange whispers filled the air, voices that sounded like loved ones. Mothers heard their children calling. Children heard their fathers shouting. Some villagers reached for their doors. "No," Dadi shouted. "Do not listen, do not open." Her voice cut through the chaos. A door creaked open at the far end of the village, and then, silence. The whispers stopped. The shadows retreated. Slowly, the cold wind faded. Morning arrived like a gentle apology. Sunlight spilled over the rooftops. Birds sang as if nothing had happened. One by one, villagers opened their doors. They counted their children. Every single one was safe, except one house stood empty. The house whose door had opened. People gathered, shaken, pale, silent. Then they turned toward Dadi's house. Her door opened slowly. Dadi stepped out, holding Eamon's hand. The boy was unharmed, calm, alive. Everyone stared. A man finally spoke, his voice trembling. "Dadi, what did you know?" Dadi looked at the village, at the children running into their parents' arms, at the empty house at the edge of the road. She said quietly, "Some nights don't test our strength, they test our patience." She looked down at Eamon and smiled gently. Fear searches for noise, for panic, for open doors. No one spoke. From that day on, the villagers listened more closely when Dadi spoke. Children were taught old stories again. Lamps were lit with care. Doors were locked with wisdom, not fear. And Eamon, he grew up remembering one thing clearly. The night Dadi hid him was the night she saved the whole village.